I'm one of the strongest men to ever walk the earth.
I love Caesar salad.
Robert's got diarrhea.
Boys.
Don't do that. You'll shit yourself making that move.
No, up here it's good. It's when I'm down here, it's not good. You get like the locomotion down here. It's not actually, honestly, that kind of did make me feel a little off doing it. It's just a joke.
If Robert disappears during the show, he's made a bolt for the bathroom and be a timeout. You were in England last week and you come back and you're not feeling.
They do that in hockey too
for timeout.
Well, in football, this means medical substitute.
Oh no, no. Medical substitute.
Listeners, I'm tapping my head. I guess I'm not even. Just also for the listeners.
So for the listeners, he's tapping to his vagina because if you need a medical substitute, you're a vagina.
We say whispering eye on this show just to keep it censored. For everyone who doesn't know, in the 1500s, a whispering eye is a vagina. That's what they called it, a whispering eye.
Really?
For all the listeners that don't know, every show I'm doing little
whispering eye.
Things. Yeah, a whispering eye. I always do little weird things. Like almost always whenever Ian's saying something, I'm making hand motions or picking my nose or something.
He's usually bored. When I'm talking, he's usually bored and he's making some sort of emotion saying my turn to talk. To the people that are listening, the people that are watching, they are enthralled with what's going on in the show right now. They're looking at the backgrounds, wondering what Robert's doing, checking out his beard, wondering what I'm up to, noticing that I'm blind.
You look tan, buddy. I know I'm going to tell you I was just in England, but did you just get back from somewhere sunny?
No, it was sunny here. It was sunny here for a couple of days and we went and walked, or high blood pressure, one of the two.
Either way, it looks good on you, dog.
Either way, we accept.
You're not at the blood pressure yet, what we call like lake people. Like if you notice, if you ever go to a lake in America, the people that retire on a lake, they're always leathery. We just call them lake people. They're like leathery, you start your morning with a beer kind of guy. Like there's both spectrums. Like there's the really nice boat guy and there's the really shitty boat guy. Both of them have breakfast with a beer, you know?
Uh-huh.
And then like throughout the day, they're always, they're all both smoking cigarettes, just a different kind of cigarette, you know?
Right.
Lake people, just like when you're in Florida, there's the swampers. Like people that all live near a swamp, like there's super wealthy people in Florida that are like uber billionaires or whatever, and they still drive these nasty fucking motor cars, and they all, I don't know.
They don't want to
spend piss somebody off if I finish explaining that. I was thinking
they don't want to spend their money. Speaking of uber billionaires, our guest today sold a company to Pepsi Cola for $1 billion or something like that. And Stephen Ellsworth is here today to talk about the soft drink Poppi. I don't know if you've ever had a Poppi.
I think I have had one. I don't know. My girl likes a lot of those 0 calorie.
It's got probiotics, is what it's got. It's got
That's
probiotics.
Awesome.
But we'll talk to him all about that. He's coming in a bit, but we'll see if he's a lake person. See how leathery he is. And see if he smokes cigarettes or
the
what
he's up to. Lake.
But we look forward to talking to him.
Do you have a beer with breakfast? That's the only question you got to ask.
You know, it's even better. The guy that can have a Jack and Coke for breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
That's an impressive human being.
Talking about my dad.
That's funny. Yeah. And when I say Jack and Coke, I'm talking like cocaine and Jack.
Yeah, exactly. You're saying we robbed the neighbors of cocaine, right? We jacked
That's awesome.
Coke.
That's fun. So what were you doing in England last week?
England, it was cool. I took Atlas and we went up to.
He must have loved it.
Awesome. First time out to England, lost his freaking mind. It was so cool. We stayed a night in Manchester. Then we went up to Darwin, which is like 45-minute drive, which in England, that's such a long drive to everybody.
Yeah. That's 45 minutes. If you compare England for 45 minutes to America, that'd be like driving from Los Angeles to Idaho.
Oh yeah, and like for
Yeah,
us, it's like we'll go to the store that's 45 minutes away.
yeah,
That's like a weekend trip. It's huge.
yeah.
But it was awesome. We stayed in this. I want to say it was like a 700-year-old church. It was a very very old church that got turned into an Airbnb. It's a cemetery.
Of course. Just to let people know that's what happens to religion. It just gets turned into an Airbnb.
Well, first they tried to make it a parking lot, but it's a cemetery, and the cemetery is like so full that like the bodies come right up to the building. I everywhere I go is going to be weird, and you could definitely make fun of this. People would think you would do this more than me, but everywhere I go, I take a moment to walk around barefoot in the soil. Like it's just something I do. I've done it my whole life, everywhere I've ever been.
Fair.
Like literally everywhere in the world I've done this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, I really want to walk around this grass. It's right there is like a body,
Yeah.
And then I look at the headstone and it's like 1522. She was a lovely woman. And then it like lists all of her friends and all this stuff. And I just like touched my toe on the grass and rubbed it a little.
If you'd gone for a walk on the grass, it would have been crunchy.
Oh no, finding bones and stuff.
Yeah,
Or someone comes up to get you.
Yeah.
Really cool. Old haunted church, really awesome.
Was it just you and Atlas, or did the whole family go?
No, it's just Alice and I, and that's one of the things about this is like two things. I wanted to tell you. One, first, Alice had a blast and hanging around all these English kids. The entire week, he had a fake English accent. It was hilarious.
That's awesome.
And like, I kept thinking someone might get offended or anything, but I don't know if any of the other kids realized it was fake or not. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Or maybe they just let it go. I don't know what was going on. But I'd hear him running around and like, oh, yeah, I'll tell your father. Like, he's just like totally Mary Poppinsing it up. And I let it go the whole week. And I told him, I was like, all right, that's fine. It's cool. Just when we come home, we're going to go back to talking normal and stuff. I don't want him to end up being like, who was it?
Nope.
Madonna moved to London for a month and then had a fake accent for like 6 years. So I made sure we cut that off when we got back to America. And the real big difference in this trip that I learned about myself is I'm not good at leaving. Like my little girl stay here. She's 2. Mm-hmm. And man, I used to just cut and run everything all the time. Like I was busy rocking and rolling around the world, a month here, a month there. And now I'm gone for a week. And the whole time I'm just like, I feel like crap. I'm literally every day like FaceTime, like I'm a teenager in love. Like,
I love it.
You're
becoming a man.
You're
becoming a man. Seriously.
It was cool. But
you know what that means? You're a good father. That's what that means. So you should be proud of yourself.
Thanks, man. It was good. And what's lucky enough, I've got a good partner and like everything went good. But like, being like considerate has a lot of extra added stress. It definitely does.
It's way easier to be a dick.
Yeah,
absolutely. It is way easier to be a dick. So,
yeah.
I've had to bite my tongue a couple of times this week. Well, let's get to our guest. Let's cut and run and get to our guest. That's a lovely story about you being a great human being, Robert. But let's sell some fucking ads.
Let's
get to our guest. We'll talk more about this afterwards. Our guest today is known for having 3 sons. No, our guest today has been on Shark Tank. He has sold his company to a major company, and he's here talking with us today. He loves to laugh. Please welcome Stephen Ellsworth. Big hand for Stephen, everybody, as everybody starts to clap. Yeah. Hey, Stephen, how are you?
Good. How are you two? Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I have a question for you. Do you hate art? I
No,
literally
because
have
they're
nothing on your
wall.
wall.
Um, there's a rock collection over here, if you can
Okay.
see it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That looks like an abacus. That's actually a cool little rock collection. Do you get them when you travel? Like you pick up a little rock?
No, this is my middle child. It is his obsession. So it there was nothing in it, but we had like our two oldest boys. They love each other and they hate each other, and they hate each other the most
That's
at
brothers.
bedtime. And so we had to split them up. This was initially a guest room. So I guess slightly we hate art. It's a little bit more sterile than it would be for a 7-year-old boy, but
Right.
we let him put his rocks right here, and it's really spruced things up. It's made it look great.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
You're lucky because he's 7. 2 more years, all those rocks will be going through windows. So
That's
you,
correct.
you, and you have 3 boys.
Yeah, three boys, 3, 7, and 9.
You
Are
grew.
they in any sports?
All the sports, a little bit of soccer. They're doing jujitsu, but really our two biggest ones are flag football and baseball.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah,
America.
yeah.
Did you grow up with a lot of siblings, or how did it work for you?
I have 5 siblings.
Really?
So yeah, I have 5 siblings. So I'm not even hitting at my weight class. I'm far below. Um,
Where
Disappointment
did
to
you
the
grow up?
family.
Sorry.
what's that?
Go ahead. Go
Disappointment to the family is what I said.
ahead. And where? Because you have 5 siblings growing up. I want to know where.
I grew up in Wisconsin. I grew up in a lot of places, but sixth grade through the end of high school was in Wisconsin. But a non-traditional Wisconsin family. I was raised Mormon.
Oh, I was gonna say you were
Uh,
lactose intolerant.
Yeah. Yeah.
you were raised Mormon? Are you still Mormon?
I am not a practicing Mormon, but I am definitely a devout Christian for sure.
Oh,
So
good for
That's
you.
funny.
Good
we,
for you.
we do
Having
we do
fun.
the whole church thing on Sundays and the whole thing. The school
LDS church or Christian church?
just a non-denominational Bible church. My
That's
my
awesome.
my wife, I think the thing that made us come together, my wife Allison, she's the other founder of Poppi, maybe a little bit more visible than I am, or for sure more visible than I am. She was raised Seventh-day Adventist, which is also a very devout, very strict sort of culture. And
Mm.
so, as you can imagine, there was some words to be had about what path to choose. And I didn't want to be Seventh-day Adventist. She didn't want to be Mormon. So we said, let's find something that works for both of us. As long as we can build a proper foundation for them, we're happy.
That's really interesting to me that you guys came from those two backgrounds, ended up together. There must have been a lot of influences from both of your family to pick one of those, being the one they wanted you to pick, and then both of you deciding not to pick either one of those. I know we don't go very deep on this, but do you still get along with both of your families?
Oh, incredibly well, incredibly
Okay, good.
well. I started to break my parents when I was about 14 years old. Um, so they've had a lot of training, and I think they I don't necessarily want to say they gave up hope, but it's not like when we got married, it was a surprise that I was no longer practicing Mormon at that point. So
Well, when you have 5, you know one's going for a walk.
yeah, yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly,
Well,
exactly.
how deep were you? So I had 10 siblings, not to outdo you, or nine
Wow.
siblings, and I was also
So,
baptized in the Mormon church when I was 11,
no, come on.
for sure. So I was going to ask you how were you fully devout? Did you go to the temple and do baptism for the
I
dead?
love
Did
this.
you go to seminary? Did
Yeah.
you do all those things, or were you like faltering away when you were 14 and starting to tick off your parents?
Yeah, so we're about, sub-level 3. We could go 4, 5, and 6 if we
So
want
you're a
to.
telestial guy.
Um, you know what?
That's
I
a
did.
Mormon joke that nobody but Mormons will get.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yes, I was devout. I was all in until like the age of 14. I think a lot of it was just showing up and doing it and going through the motions more so. I think 11, 12, 13, I was still more pure if if you will. But right around 14 is when I just always had urges.
Question.
Urges is such a strange word, but I always just wanted to go do and figure things out on my own.
Nice.
I'm not one to be told what to do. It just sort of doesn't work well for me.
I do say that the Mormon religion is the best because they give you a bike.
They don't give you a bike.
Come on, I've seen everybody. Mormons are all they all have bikes. Everybody else promises you heaven, but the Mormons give you it right away. Here you go. There's your bike.
Yeah. Because the guys that are riding around with the name tags and bikes, you think they hand out
the guys from Enterprise Rental Car always have a bike.
It's funny that your version of heaven is just a bike.
Nice.
I don't have many dreams.
That's it. We just need a bike. We just need a bike. But yeah, I was so 5 siblings, one of 6, all married in the temple, all served missions, including my parents as well. So bless my parents.
Bike people.
So no mission for you?
No mission for me. No. It was really funny because at 16, I was actually about to be ordained as a priest. Mm-hmm. And my dad and mom pulled me aside. They're like, maybe not.
Wow, that is really cool, honestly. Hey, in my experience, especially being very focused in the Mormon church as a kid, but I went to a lot of different churches growing up. But in my experience, the parents are more like, be a priest and you'll figure it out when you get there. And like, I remember, I almost feel bad saying this. I know a couple guys who went out on their mission knowing that they shouldn't have been out there, and they didn't stay out 2 years, you know?
Yeah.
It's really cool to me that your parents were honest about it. And instead of trying to push a round peg in a square hole, they were just like, let's be real. I like that.
For sure. Yeah. And I always qualify, that I was a Mormon raised in Wisconsin because I think
not Salt Lake.
Exactly. Or Provo. It's different. You sort of have these interactions, and so I give my parents a lot of credit for just being like real humans. They obviously love God, they care about their community, they care about their family, and they practice it in a real, tangible way, as opposed to saying like bury these deep down and just put on this facade and carry through life. So
that's cool. Well,
that's great.
When I was a kid, I remember I grew up in California, and just since we're on the subject, I never thought I'd say this ever, but like growing up in California, I remember when they started shipping over Mormons from Utah, and I felt like they were trying to really straighten us out because we were not like them, you know? Yeah. It was very different.
Yeah,
I love it. This has been my favorite podcast we've ever done. It usually starts out where like, "What did you eat?" And then you guys go into religion and how many kids you had. And your families are huge, and I'm just sitting over here going, "Wow." I remember playing hockey with Roland Wright, and he had to miss games because of religion. That's what I remember.
Yeah. There's some deep DNA coding that just like when they're Mormons, you just sort of like click.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've all done, Wednesday nights basketball or boys and girls groups. And then Mormons, they have seminary. Once you get to high school, like Catholics have seminary for their priests to go learn to be a priest. Mormon, every kid, before you go to school at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., you're at the church for an hour to learn about God before you go to school. And so, like, it's unique,
Yeah, Wednesday night basketball is the only day Mormons are not Mormons. I mean, just like
it's crazy, and it's universal too. Like nobody realizes that it's like a part of the Mormon church. Everyone has a basketball court. Everyone, it's either Tuesdays or Wednesday nights. They have boys and girls clubs, Boy Scouts, and basketball, where like all the guys come and it's pretty physical, pretty serious basketball. It's like
they throw down.
You know what? You guys have just told me why Utah has a basketball team. I've never understood why they had a basketball team, and it's because of Mormons Wednesday night basketball. Wow, that's really interesting.
Start him young.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is the funniest name, by the way. I just bring them young. I'm just like, ooh, that's weird.
Yeah. I don't want to get too many people. We already talked a lot about Mormons, and now they're going to be listening, so I don't want to say any of that stuff.
I'm sure this is the new Book of Mormon right here. They'll be protesting this. I love it. So the reason that you stopped me in my tracks when I was talking to you, you went on Shark Tank, you pitched a drink and ended up getting a shark to join you, and you changed it a little bit and then became a very popular drink and then became an even more popular drink when you sold it. Tell me, tell me, how have you always been like in this world of creating businesses, or how do you start?
That's a great question. I think I've always been entrepreneurial from a very young age. I have a terrible resume. Like my resume is essentially non-existent.
Love it.
Any corporate job has been like 3 months or less. It's been really, really bad. And I've just always had the ability to make
Never had
money.
healthcare.
For a long time, I didn't have healthcare. 26 was a very sad age for me. When I moved off my parents, it was like, oh my gosh, this is the real world. Um, but I just always had the ability to make money, and so I was always doing things, could always make money, could always sell. And so I knew that I always wanted to do something on my own. I just didn't know what I wanted to do, so I was still trying to figure it out. And thankfully, my wife had some health issues, oddly enough, but it was her idea. She started taking shots of apple cider vinegar. She had some stomach issues, face things, like skin issues, I guess, and she started taking shots of apple cider vinegar every day. She loved the way it made her feel, but she hated the taste. And so she was really focused on health, and I was actually focused on making the drink taste really, really good, where people actually wanted to drink it because it tasted good, not wanted to drink it because it was healthy for them. And so that's really where we got together. And we started at ground zero, basically. We were in the kitchen, we were mixing juices. We had one of those soda streams, sparkling water. We just buy 2 liters of sparkling water, and we were just trying different sweeteners, juices, I don't know, floral items, rose petals, etc. And just trying to put something together that was low in sugar, had health benefits to it, but ultimately tasted great.
Wow. And that's such a unique twist too, because there's a ton of vitamin waters and bubbly waters and 0 calorie this and that. And it almost, looking back, it almost feels crazy to think that there wasn't something addressing gut health. That's a very big issue for a ton of people. And
Mhm.
you see a lot of people, it's extremely popular to take a shot of apple cider vinegar,
Mhm.
and to be 2020, what year is this? 23, 24?
No, so this was, I mean, it was a 10-year overnight success, if you will. So the first concept started in 2016. We finally hit
That
Huh.
makes more sense.
yeah, yeah. And so this is so like kombucha was having a moment or starting to become more widely known at this point. I think the biggest issue that we saw with kombucha is that people didn't like the way that it tasted. There was floaty stuff in it. And it also tended to be higher in sugar, but it had this really sort of funky fermented taste to it. And so people would largely drink it because of the health benefits. A small portion would drink it because they liked the way that it tasted. But there was just a lot of people that really couldn't get behind it. And so this, at first, when we started doing this, we were like a stepsister to kombucha, if you will, where we were slightly less funky tasting, we were more flavorful, more fruit forward in our flavor profiles, and we had less sugar, and so it was really just like an evolution of that. And going
Mhm.
back to your thing on Shark Tank, we really just sold this at the farmers market. We were still working our other jobs. We were in oil and gas, which technically was like a corporate job, but it was really a family business. There's 4 or 5 of us. We were all autonomous in what we did. But we were just selling this at the farmers market as a hobby, and a forager from Whole Foods approached us our third weekend. We had a big crowd around our table. We kept on selling out week after week, and she came up and tried the product and said, I love this product. I love what you guys are doing. Like clearly people are loving what you guys are doing. You guys should be in Whole Foods. And it was really that early validation, external validation, because all of the validation from fans and friends and family is fake. As most of us.
Right.
If you have nice friends and
Well,
family.
Yeah,
that that
we all have
that
friends and
also
families we
that
love.
also makes me want to go back further, because how do you get from, okay, I'm trying to make my wife feel better, she's dealing with some health problems, to, hey, you know what, we should take this to the farmers market and sell it. Because that is a huge step,
Hmm.
right? Like, would you say that was your biggest step?
I think, yeah, obviously the first step to get out there and sell something. We were sharing it with friends and family. Allison was sharing it with friends that and sharing her story, and people were resonating with it. And we had given out a few. We were giving out little samples in mason jars to some folks. But we were
So
sitting at
basically,
the
you're selling drugs.
correct, correct, yeah,
Try
uh,
this. It's
yeah.
fun.
I promise it's good for you. Um, but we were still working and our other jobs, and we're sitting at the table. We oil and gas at this time, which we don't, whatever. Oil and gas was like on the downturn. The price per barrel was crashing, but we thankfully had a job for the next year, and so
Hmm.
we were faced with this opportunity to say, hey, do we keep pursuing oil and gas and finding other jobs, maybe going a little bit more corporate than what we were, or do we take this little idea and turn it into something? So we're sitting around the table in Dallas, Texas, where we had just bought a home, and my father-in-law looked at us and he said, like, why don't you guys sell your hooch? That's literally what it was called at that time is why don't you go sell your hooch? And so we said, huh, maybe we should. And the first and maybe easiest place to take it was the farmer's market. It was apple cider vinegar. It's a perfect audience for an apple cider vinegar drink was the farmer's
Hippies.
market. So on we
But
went.
when you're getting started with that, like the enterprise is taking off, that first 4 to 6 months when you decided this is not just for your wife, this is for other people too. You're buying mason jars, you're doing the whole procedure. That first 4 to 6 months, are you losing a bunch of money? Are you evening out because of the farmers market? Like, was there ever a point where you're like, we should just make this for ourselves?
Yeah, the word enterprise makes the first 4 to 6 months sound so glamorous. It was far from that. So there's this. We were still making it in our kitchen, selling at the farmers market. There's a law in Texas called the cottage law that allows you, if it's not dairy or meat or any of these other classifications of food and beverage, you can make it in your kitchen and sell it at the farmers market. So that's honestly what we were doing. Uh, but yes, there was many times. I remember we just bought in a house. It was a brand new build and we were literally making it in our living room. And one of the hoses busted off the top of this like thing that carbonated the water, and it's literally at like 60 psi, is just like shooting a stream of water straight into our ceiling. We're just like, shut it off, shut it off. And I just was like, I just looked at Allison. I was like, what, like why? Like why, why are we doing this? And I mean, I could go on and on, but the first 4 to 6 months it was just sheer grit. It was just we were excited about the idea. We were excited that we were getting to share our story, that other people were excited about what we were doing. We had some really early validation that sort of gave us the hope to persist. Um, but man, it was just a total grind.
Was one of you more was one of you more in than the other?
So my wife was in. I tell her this to her face. Like she's a little crazy. She's a little delusional. And I think
What a wife?
yeah, who would have thought? Um, but I think we're the perfect complement because she like, she's on a cliff overlooking the river and she wants to get to the other side and she'll just run and she'll jump to try and make it to the other side. And my goal is to actually like support and like put things in action and execute so that dream come becomes a reality. And so she was the one that just jumped. And as a loving husband, of course, I was there to support my wife. But for
Mhm.
me, it takes me a little bit longer to get in. But once I commit, I'm all in. Like I don't look back. It's like I'm fully in. And and so there was maybe the timing wasn't too significant. It was maybe like 2 or 3 months where I was still helping, but I wasn't like fully committed. But after
Right.
like 2 or 3 months, we saw some traction. I was like, I'm in. Let's do this. No turning back.
Maybe I shouldn't be drinking all the product.
Uh, yeah, don't get high on your own supply, right?
Yeah, right, right.
Well, I was watching a news report last time I was in Salt Lake City, and they were talking about how the number one business in Utah right now is flavored sodas because Mormons don't do caffeine. Mormons don't go to a bar. Mormons don't go to hookah places. So they've got all these soda spots popping up all over, and they're crushing. So like
rushing.
Most businesses right now in like food service where it's that scale where it's not like a giant restaurant, it's like, you know, your McDonald's and your Jack in the Box, those kind of spots, they're actually on a real downturn right now as far as financially, and those soda spots are blowing up. And I'm rushing. You know, you mentioned you're not Mormon anymore or anything, but was there ever that connect that, like, because it's a huge audience of people out there that are straight edge or religious or whatever. There's also a giant audience of people who want better gut health and everything. And did you obviously use the gut health window, but like, was religion or anything a part of that at all? Like, not just the promotion, was that a part of why you created it or anything? Like, did you popped out in 2016 or 17, so it's not like you got to watch the rise of the soda fountain in Salt Lake, but that you were a part of it, like not in Salt Lake, but you were part of that same timeline. I'm wondering what kind of crossover you had.
Well, brother Robert.
Yeah. He's always just trying to take it back to Salt Lake City, to the Mecca of the West.
I'm trying to get my third wife, bro. Come on.
I see the angle here. It had nothing to do with Poppi. It was just
will your juice get me a third wife?
Yeah, it was always about the brotherhood. Listen, I think it goes beyond that. I don't think it was ever like, hey, I'm doing this because of the Mormon faith or religion. But I did grow up in a household where soda was a treat. And I think largely that's what soda is. It's this emotional connection to all of our favorite times, whether that's a movie theater, whether it's, you know, Friday pizza party, whether it's you're out to eat with your parents, whether it's you do something good, you mow the lawn, and you go out and get a soda with your mom or your dad, whatever it is, you know. So I think that was the biggest thing for me, is I had an emotional connection to soda. And I think you can see sort of that evolution. That's what Americans want, is they want something that tastes great. They want something that they emotionally connect with, that brings back a flood of great memories. So it wasn't tied to the Mormon faith. It was really just, hey, I grew up loving soda. I no longer get to enjoy soda because it's either 40 grams of sugar for a 12-ounce can, or it's filled with artificial sweeteners like aspartame or artificial colors, etc. How can we do this in a better way where I can have those same great experiences, the same great flavor profile without all of the baggage? And so that's why we said at Poppi, our mission is to revolutionize soda for the next generation by giving people the freedom to love soda again without all of the baggage. And so that ultimately, it ultimately came full circle, because now we're growing up. My kids are being raised on Poppi. We've got soda in the household, but it's something that we can feel good about, something that we're excited to share with our friends and neighbors.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Robert, do you want to ask him any more Mormon questions?
Yeah, one last question relevant. Can I borrow some money?
I have a question based on that. How have you dealt with that? Because you say you came from a middle class family, and now you everything that you've made has been put out there. Mm-hmm. How do you find people coming at you all the time? Plus family, maybe finding family that you didn't remember that you even had. Do you have a lot of that going on?
So the short answer is no. Which is
he has no phone.
yeah. Social media has been cut off. No email address. We are off the grid. Solar panel.
No art.
Yeah, no art. Exactly. Solar panels. The whole thing. I've been very, very fortunate that way, and I think we were raised in a family with such great values. I have sort of this winding path, and we can go into that or not go into that, but I truly believe
Love to.
it's the Mormon faith, back to this whole thing, that laid the foundation for these good morals and values and principles that I see in practice today. And so when I got this big thing, there was a few people that said, like, in my family, that were um, jealous of the things that I got to do because of Poppi or the financial gains. But have they changed the way that they've acted towards me? Zero. Have they asked for money? Zero. There's literally been none of that. And I've actually talked to my parents to say, hey, I would love to support my siblings. I would love to support their kids as well. How can we set it up in a way where we do this, where it doesn't even look like it's coming from me, where it looks like, it's coming from you guys? And my parents were just like, no, we don't need that. Um, there's been a few instances here and there. I think, large sums of money change people in ways that are comprehend. I know that after we sold the business, there was it changed me a little bit and had me thinking differently about things. It had you sort of
Wanting to
question,
buy an island.
wanting to buy planes, wanting to buy car. No, I'm just kidding. No, it had you like sort of questioning for no reason, like, what are the intentions of people and why are they interacting with you?
Mhm.
Hmm.
You know?
Interesting. So can we go back to, so you go on Shark Tank, they become, you get a shark, right?
Hmm.
You
And then you
guys
get
already,
a bank.
you, but you
Yeah.
guys already have a name
I
for it.
I would have liked to keep the shark in a tank. Yes.
Was it okay? So I have three questions then. So you guys get a shark. Is it a good relationship? You guys have a good relationship with that shark?
Yeah, I think um, we built something really special together, and I think that relationship
Very
and
political of you. I like
I
the way you took that
know.
moment there. That's like a young Joe Biden.
yeah, young man. Um, no, we built something really special together. I think in the early years, they were so instrumental in our success. They took this great product and they helped to rebrand it and reposition it as a prebiotic soda. And I think the four of us, because it was the shark and her sort of right hand, so it was Rohan and Stevie, and then me and Allison. It was really like the four of us that were the brain trusts and sort of saying, okay, what is this new playbook, and how do we take this amazing product, this amazing liquid, this amazing story, and really scale it in a much bigger way. And so that was, I think that was just a huge transformation to the business. And when we launched as Poppi in 2020, what we are today, we're one of the fastest growing beverages in history, like full stop. And so would that have happened without Shark Tank? Probably not.
Okay. So you change the name after you go on Shark Tank. You change the name. Do you guys? You are, because it's your baby. I'm sure it's more of your wife's baby than yours. And they changed the name. How big of a curveball does that come at you?
I don't think it was as big of a curveball um, as people think it is.
Uh-huh.
I personally hated the name Mother Beverage.
Oh,
I was never a fan of it. It felt too niche.
Mother
Um,
beverage.
yeah, yeah. Most
sounds
people don't.
milky.
Yeah, yeah. And like people would like come up and be like, "Can I try some of that mother's milk?" And I'd just be like, I would just like it would make me cringe every
Mother's
time.
milk is better than mother beverage.
It's so for me, it was actually I was actually relieved when an external party came in and said, "Hey, let's rebrand this thing," because I didn't have to be the bad guy in the situation. Allison was also up for it as Allison was also up for it as well. We called it Mother Beverage because of the mother of apple cider vinegar. It's like all the good stuff for you.
Oh, interesting.
But we didn't have any expertise in branding. We spent a lot of time making a really, really great product that was good for you and that tasted amazing. But as you saw, like Mother Beverage, the packaging, The branding, it doesn't compare to Poppi. So
Right.
we were all in. We said, hey, let's do it. We took 9 months. We kept the business at steady state, which was a really challenging 9 months of transition. But ultimately rebranded as Poppi, and then launched in March of 2020, an iconic year.
What was
Seen it
the
everywhere.
Yeah.
everywhere? Oh, so what was the did you guys have to make a choice between bottles or cans? And was there like was it a tough decision? Like do you think you would have been a different trajectory had you gone bottles rather than cans?
I believe so. I believe so.
Yeah.
Just because there's nothing, there's no other type of package that screams soda than a 12-ounce soda can. Um, and I think it was very intentional for us to be in that package because we were this apple cider vinegar drink. It had apple cider vinegar in it. We had to do everything in our power to convince people before, like without talking to them, um, to want to try this product. And so we were looking at glass bottles, we were looking at cans, we were going to do both. We were going to say, hey, maybe it's glass bottles for Whole Foods, and maybe it's like cans for like Walmart, just
Hmm.
because Whole Foods customers typically like glass. And we're going to do this whole dual strategy. It was just gonna be a nightmare. And so we were actually the first ones in this sort of prebiotic soda category to plant our flag as soda. There were some other brands that were calling themselves a botanical tonic or elixir or whatever it was, but we were really the first ones to say, "Hey, we are a prebiotic soda. We're saying soda because we want you to understand that we're leading with taste. That we are a great tasting soda that happens to be healthy for you rather than a healthy soda."
You know what's funny is all this time I didn't know it was an apple cider vinegar base. So
Yeah.
my
Well,
girl loves the drink. I've been around, I've had it. I like it very much. It's a common thing in my house, and I didn't even know it was based on apple cider.
Typical Mormon, sucking up.
Your marketing was perfect.
well, that was my cross to carry. That's a very non-Mormon thing to say, by the way.
That's true. Mormons are not big on the cross. You will never
Yeah,
Not
see
big
a
on the
Mormon
ground.
church with a cross on it.
yeah. That was my cross to bear. Allison's story was all
Cross-eyed
centered,
bear.
yeah, it was all around apple cider vinegar. And I liked the functionality of it. And sometimes I even liked the way that it impacted the flavor profile of the product. But largely, it's a very, very polarizing ingredient. And so you saw the evolution to say, hey, we were mother beverage, we were an apple cider vinegar product. And it was, like I said, it was very intentional when we went through it. Apple
Sounds like a
cider,
cult. Mother
yeah,
beverage.
it,
It sounds like you've got like the
Robert,
reverse.
let it go.
Like your wife had 5 husbands and she controlled you with her mother beverage.
yeah, yeah.
Wicker Man,
Yeah,
basically. Wicker Man.
Yeah.
we all sat around and drank the Kool-Aid. It was yeah,
Apple cider Kool-Aid. Oh my God.
Nice.
Fantastic.
I got one for you. So
Let him answer. He didn't answer. He was going to answer the question. Then you're all like, yeah, you're
yeah,
Let
that's
him answer
right.
the question.
Well, let's ask him more about the
I
bottling
I wanted,
process.
yeah, jeez.
Well,
Yeah.
I was like in my head, I'm like, I wonder why they didn't go with little, because apple cider vinegar has a distinct bottle. So I was thinking, were you guys doing that? It was like that one of the choices. That's why and I'm sorry
And
that you
then
found that boring, guys smoking. Every so often, a puff of smoke comes out of your head like a new pope has been chosen. So
so I know. As
Plumes
soon
of
as you
smoke.
asked him about bottling service, I was like, oh, I can hit the vape pen because this is not going to be a clip.
I need to be high for this answer. That's what you said. Oh my God.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
yeah. Over time, I swear, like every day, every week, I was like, how can we continue to put apple cider vinegar in the back seat? Because when you say apple cider vinegar, it's like, oh, that's healthy. That's all people. It's healthy and it tastes disgusting. Those are the two things people think when they talk about apple cider vinegar. And so we always wanted to say, like, we sort of position it where it's like we have apple cider vinegar in stealth mode. We don't talk about it. We put it on the side of the can and a very little bug. It was an ingredient. in the product. And honestly, I love the ingredient in there because of I wouldn't say like the immediate, but I could definitely notice a benefit with ACV in our product as opposed to another prebiotic soda that didn't have it in there. There was something that just was better, like drinking it with a meal or drinking it after a meal. That ACV was just like felt great for digestion. And so it was really important to have it in there, plus tied back to the authentic story. But we didn't really ever want to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah, you did a great job. A great job making it stealth. Really, really good.
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
Okay, so
now.
what have you here's I'll get to the questions Robert wants to ask. What have you done? What have you done since you were able to get a popular product and do your wildest dreams? What have you been able to get out and do? Like, would you go on Blue Origin or something like that? Would you go on one of those space flights now that you have that kind of financial backing?
You and Katy Perry.
Yeah, yeah, please. Yeah, she was an investor in Bragg's, the apple cider vinegar. So maybe we could just like it to be the ACV, flight to space.
That's funny.
We'll just
ignite.
That's funny.
I'm gonna start
I'll take the space.
4th of July over here.
Eye of the tiger.
That song is one of my gym songs because I got kids, and it makes me like crazy emotional too. Like I'm here for my kids, and I'm listening to "Roar" by Katy Perry.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
Have some mother's milk and shut up.
Yeah. I'm pretty boring. I wish I was maybe a little bit more exciting. We had like an FU trip that we did after we sold the business, which was just it was once in a lifetime. Brought my parents, brought my wife Allison's parents, her sister, her three kids. My youngest brother came for a little bit. My oldest sister, her husband, and her three kids came for a bit. And we went to six different places over the course of a month. So a couple places in Italy, a place in Montenegro, then a couple places in Scotland. But like, I mean, we took helicopters, we took planes. We just like we did it all. We stayed at this villa in Como for a week, the one that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce stayed at. This big, beautiful villa, fully staffed. You can order gelato at 2 a.m. and they'll bring it to your room, like that kind of a place. And that was really, really fun to be able to share such a special moment with our closest family. I wish we could have taken my entire family, but that's like 31 people just on my side of the family, between my nieces, nephews, and whatever. But that was like the funnest thing. I think the thing that I like the most about it is I'm such an anal person with money.
Most Mormons are anal.
Yeah, gosh, it's just like it is like
Freedom.
yeah, I can be frugal, but that's what it is. It's like I can
Right.
be it's totally freeing. And so I would rather live well below my means so that I don't have to like think about it. So I don't have to be like, oh, like do I need to not do this so I can do this? And like that's for me the nicest thing is just to be able to say, hey, I'm living well below my means. I can do all of these fun things. I can travel with friends, I can travel with family, and just not have to worry about things so much.
Have you been tempted by any passion projects, like entertainment wise, or like like are you suddenly playing piano? You know what I mean?
Elton John's your teacher.
Yeah.
I was trying to see how deep you were going to go. Special projects and entertainment. I
I
was like,
brought up
this.
the
Have you
island
decided to
earlier,
back?
Nobody
Have you
caught
decided to
that.
back a podcast and a comedian and a strong man?
I was like, this could go both ways, or this could go one way or another. Um, I picked up golf. I picked up golf.
Frustrating, huh?
What's that? Oh my gosh,
Frustrating.
it's so
I can't hit
frustrating.
a driver for shit. My mid game is so the only thing that brings me back is my mid game. But
Yeah,
I get so frustrated.
yeah. It's the muscles, man. You just want to rip it, and you can't. But we've been
So,
doing that. The thing that I like is my wife also started playing golf, so we're learning something together, which
Nice.
is cool because I'm a very active outdoors guy, so I like to literally anything outdoors and anything active. Like you're like, hey, let's go do this. I'm like down. and that's just not really her cup of tea. And so this is the
Hmm.
one thing that is athletic. It gets us outside. It gets us together. So that's been a really fun
You still
thing.
get to ride around in a cart.
Yep.
Do you guys take lessons together? Do you take lessons?
We take lessons, yes, not together, but we take
Okay.
lessons. Yeah.
All right.
And there's a healthy competition in between because we have like
Okay.
the same coaches and they'll be like, "Oh, Allison's getting way better." And then Allison will be in the bay hitting and they're like, "Ah, Steven's like getting way better. You better watch out." So it's been some good competition.
And what you say you're athletic. You like to do things. What are your sports you grew up doing and playing? And could were you on your way to play professional in anything, and then just soda got in the way?
No. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I gave it up. I gave it all up for soda. No, no, I was not. I did non-traditional. So you sort of people get this, people say this a lot, but I grew up actually I wrestled and I swam in high school. Those were like traditional sports. I
The
wasn't
same
very
time?
uh yeah.
Drown somebody that way.
No, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly the same time. It was underwater wrestling, I think is what they eventually
Oh
called
my
it.
God.
Uh,
It's called being a green beret, my friend.
that we'll go with that. I did that, but honestly, I grew up skateboarding and snowboarding. Those were the two things that I absolutely love to do.
Interesting.
Now, now the size that I am, people are like, "Oh, this guy's a tight end." I'm like 6'3", 225. This guy's like, "Oh my gosh, like what team did you play on? Did you play for-" And I always disappoint them, and I'm like, "No, I didn't." I was very
Do you still snowboard?
I was very small in high school. I do snowboard. I still skateboard a little bit, but I snowboard a lot more.
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 37.
You're out of your mind skateboarding still.
Why?
You're just
He's got insurance.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't care.
yeah.
I'm gonna
If I could, I'd
also.
still be skating too. I grew up in the haven for skating and surfing, so that was like
I'm
all.
gonna put my mother's milk hat on right now and call you both out. You guys got to let it go. There's a
Oh.
certain point skateboarding. Even Tony Hawk's got to calm it down a little bit. You shouldn't be on a cholesterol medicine and skateboarding. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, maybe I'm not on cholesterol medicine because I still skateboard, right?
Oh, that
Okay,
was a
okay,
shot
right,
at
right,
me.
right,
He
right.
was taking a shot at me. That's me.
Yeah.
I'm not on cholesterol pills either. I'm just joking. I do have a question though. Before we lose it, a lot
Before
of
we
people
lose it.
watch Shark Tank. Shark Tank's a huge show. For me, like, I mean, it was always like Shark Tank and Survivor were the first real big reality shows for me as a kid and everything. And so I'm sure people are curious. You're invited to Shark Tank, the whole process. You're there, you get in and you're in the green room, bunch of little sharklings around waiting to peddle their wares and all that stuff.
Basically.
I was hoping one of those words would click, but you go in, you go in and you do your presentation. The whole process there. Was there anything in that people would be like, "Oh my gosh!" Like in the green room or with the meetings, or like, was there something in there that you think people would be really surprised by?
The biggest thing that I think a lot I mean there's a couple things. So everybody thinks that it's pre-recorded, that the sharks know who the businesses are and that vice versa. Their whole goal is to make a really entertaining TV show. So like literally almost all of it is unscripted. The only thing that's scripted is like, "Hi, I'm Stevenson. Hi, I'm Steven, and I'm Allison, and we're the founders of Mother Beverage." Like it's still like it drilled in my head. That's like that 90-second pitch is literally the only thing that's scripted. So a lot of people don't know that. The other really funny thing that people don't know is that you're required to meet with a therapist before you leave the set. Whether or not you got a deal, I guess they have some sort of stats or whatever that basically some sort of insurance policy that basically requires it because it's one of the most stressful days that anybody goes through.
Interesting.
Is to be
Wow.
on national TV pitching. And so we went in, we pitched, we got a deal, so we should be happy. We left, we did a little debrief and the whole like, filming thing, and then we went back to our trailer for probably like an hour and a half or 2 hours. And we had to wait there until the therapist came and was like, "How are you doing? How are you feeling?" That whole thing. But I think that that's an interesting fact that not a lot of people know about.
It's really interesting. Are you guys the biggest success story off of that show?
We are the biggest success story. I think Sponge Daddy has a little bit more
Oh my God,
publicity.
Sponge Daddy is it? I had no idea that was.
Yeah, yeah. So
What was
Oh my God, let's throw that out right
Sponge
now.
Daddy is big. I think Ring was the other one, but they never got a deal on Shark Tank. They went on Shark Tank, didn't get a deal, but then sold to Amazon for $1 billion. We went on to Shark Tank, we got a deal, and we sold for basically $2 billion to Pepsi. So I do believe that we're the biggest one. The other really cool thing too is Allison was invited back on to be a guest shark. And so the Ring founder was invited to be back on to be a guest shark as well. But like I said, he didn't do a deal. And so Allison is the first person that got a deal on Shark Tank, the biggest deal ever on Shark Tank, the first to be back to be a shark on Shark Tank, which is cool. So her first episode aired just earlier this week or earlier last week. And her second episode will air like the first week of January, January 6th or something like that. So
No way.
pretty cool.
So I'll ask because I don't know. So would you guys, if would she do, have you guys discussed if you find something, I'm willing for you to invest in it, or are you guys like you can go on there, but you don't put any money on it? Like that.
Well, yeah, the producers are like, if we're going to put you on the show, you better be willing to write a check.
Oh yeah, but at the same time, you don't have to, right? You you
No,
really don't have to. So
no, you don't have to. But that's honestly what I like to do now that we're in this position. I like to find other founders that I believe in that are super passionate about
podcast,
what they're doing. Podcasts, yeah, podcasts and weightlifting, powerlifting. Uh, no, but that's
strong man.
exactly that's one of the things that I like to do. And so this show was a natural fit. It was sort of a full circle moment. So she was the shark on Shark Tank. I came and I was on the side because Allison doesn't math is not her thing. Marketing, branding, culture, like that's her whole thing. So the first one she went and pitched on, she was like really nervous, even though she's a total natural on camera. She was nervous because she was like, I'm not the best at evaluating company, asking the right questions. And so after the second pitch, she found out that I could just text her. So I was over on the side, like watching it happen live. And I was like, this is what the valuation is. This is what they're asking for. Ask them this question. And so we'd go back and forth in real time while she's on set because each pitch is about 35 or 40 minutes long that they then cut down to 3 or 4 minutes when they air it. So it was a really fun thing to work together on. So she did as this last episode, you did see that she offered a deal. That deal did not close because the founder retraded on the deal that was made on Shark Tank. So
They did what? I'm sorry, I missed what they did. What?
they retraded on the deal that they made on Shark Tank. And so at that point, it's our money and we can decide we want to do it or we didn't. And we just basically said, hey, a deal's a deal. You made the deal on Shark Tank. If you're not going to honor your word, we don't want to do business.
Wow. I didn't know that they could do that. I thought basically you were at the end of the show, or at the end of the show, that you were basically signing that deal. So they have the opportunity to not do the deal, and you have the opportunity to not do the deal.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's real money, it's real business. And so we went through probably a 3 month diligence process with this individual, looking through financials, looking through sell-through data, looking through, what her supply chain setup looked like, contracts, et cetera, cap table. And we thought it was a solid business, and I wish her well. But for us, when she came back and said, "Hey, the valuation that we shook on Shark Tank is not good enough for me. I want this." We basically just said, what
What
other
was the
things
business?
what other things down the line are going to pop up where they sort of go back on what they agreed to?
Right. What was the business?
Uh, it was a freestyle snacking. So they do they do pouched olives and pouched pickles.
Ah,
It's a great product. It's a great
That's
product.
freaking awesome. That is
Yeah.
huge. Pouched olives, I bet you is big right now. Going to be big.
that
Yeah.
was my nickname in high school. Um, you're just easy to talk to. Are you doing any mentoring?
I am for sure. It's one of the things I wish I could just mentor all day long. I've had to be more selective, which has kind of killed me a little bit because we've been blessed so much. I've been blessed so much, had other really great people, smart people around me, mentor me and give me advice and point me in the right direction. So I've wanted to do that sort of in return. And so for the first like month and a half or 2 months, I was just like just trying to help so many people. And I was like, this, I am driving myself nuts.
Right.
I was like on this hamster wheel. And so I've had to be more selective, unfortunately, with the folks that I mentor, but I've got some really great founders that I'm excited to be partnered with.
How do you find the people? Like, and this is not for how for if people want to reach out to you, but I'm curious how you find people to mentor now. Like, what your process for finding these people are.
I mean, they really find me is is the is the position that we're in, I guess, which is great. It's funny this whole thing. There's some companies that need money and need mentorship. There's other companies that don't need money, and those are typically the ones that you want to try and invest in because you're like, oh, if you don't need money, things are obviously going pretty well,
Right.
and so it's like those are less of a mentorship, but more of like an advisor or strategic partner in some of those businesses to help take them to the next level. But a lot of it is just emails. We give back and we'll do it. There's like accelerator groups or different like consumer packaged good groups that we're a part of. And I think that if folks are persistent, I think they've got a good product, they've got a good attitude and approach to business. They've got a good story. Like those are the ones that I'm excited to partner with. And honestly, those are the ones who are open to listening and changing. There's so many founders out there that like want to ask you for your advice just so they can tell you how they're doing it better. You're like, okay.
Oh,
That's in
that's
everything.
interesting.
Everything.
I'm just like, cool. Like, if you just wanted to tell me how you're doing it better than the advice that I'm telling you, then have fun. You know,
How do you? I'm going to go back to family now. How you've got three boys. How do you, with the success you found, how do you keep your children to as close to you have become? Does that make sense? Because I think second generation of success has a higher possibility of the children spinning out of control. We all see it around us. We all see like these people that have created the success, and the kids become, not great pillars of society. What do you do? What do you do to keep? Because to me, you seem like very level-headed. Your parents have done a good job. You're open to talk about religion where you changed religion, and you seem like an open book and a driven guy, and you care about other people. So how do you do that with your children? Mine, that took me forever to ask.
Well,
yeah,
I
no,
like that you
right.
specifically said second generation too. Like that
Yeah.
rung really true to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's honestly the third generation that's the worst. And
Really?
let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because second generation typically sees their parents build it. So they didn't always have the money. They saw where
Hmm.
they were, what their parents had to do, and then where they eventually got to. And so they see the time and effort and sacrifices made to build this thing that then created this large liquidity event or wealth for the next generation. It's then the third generation, because the second generation isn't building it, they're managing it, right? They're managing this wealth. And so, did they have to work 90 hours a week and bust their butts and, pack boxes and drive forklifts and do all of this to build a business? No, they're like, you know, running a family office, or they're picking up the phone and calling their buddies at Goldman Sachs to see like how the portfolio is performing. So it's really that third generation that isn't around to see what it actually takes to build and manage this level, like this type of wealth. And so the best thing that I can do is one, set up my trusts in the in the right way to say, hey, like if you don't do it, if you don't have a job, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, like listen, we'll just give the money away. Is one of the things. But the biggest thing that I can do is just be normal. and just to place a lot more value on the principles as opposed to the money. The money is a tool, but how do I show up every day and show them that I work hard and also make them work hard? The kids have to do chores on the weekends. They're going to learn how to mow the lawn. I still mow the lawn in front of them just to show them that like these are things that people have to do all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you got the rocks on the wall.
The rocks on the wall, exactly. You know, we didn't buy these rocks. They had to go find those themselves. They had to dig them dig them out of the dirt. But that's
I bet you got a sweet lawnmower though. I bet you got a really.
How big is your grass? How much grass is it? Is it a riding lawnmower or a pushing lawnmower?
It is a pushing lawnmower. Yeah.
No, what?
Yeah,
let that be a lesson, kids.
Well, we're taking.
He's got this much grass and a riding lawnmower.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're still in our same house. We're looking for a new home, but we haven't found it yet. We're not in a rush. So literally, it's the perfect training grass because it takes like 4 minutes to mow. But it teaches them the concept of mowing the grass. But hopefully soon we'll be in a place where a riding lawnmower is warranted. I remember back to like the early days, like I just always wanted to earn money because it was freedom. I was like 11 years old and my dad had like this little machine business that he had bought and was running. And he gave me the opportunity to mow the lawn. And I'm like on this riding lawnmower trying to push the gas and my feet aren't long enough to hit the pedals. And so I like raise up off the seat and there's a safety mechanism. If the seat's not pushed down, then the thing like stalls out. So I'm like trying to push the pedal and the seat, I'm lifting up off the seat. The thing's like backfiring, like shutting down, starting like the whole thing. So, you know, if my kids are lucky, they'll have that same experience.
We had one of those non-electric push mowers where you had to push it to get the blade spinning.
Yeah.
And we lived in a cul-de-sac. My first job, I went to the neighbors and asked everybody let me do it. Everybody $10, but I only got to do everybody's once because I was so terrible at it. I only got the job one time.
Yeah.
That's funny. No, Robert, we don't think you need to mow the lawn.
I remember a guy coming out to help me because like I'm like this way, that way, this way. And the guy comes in the backyard and he's trying to be really nice. He goes, "Hey, bud, you know, I think it works better if you just do one straight line at a time." And I was like, yeah. And I just kept doing my thing.
You go back to the neighbors the next week and they're like, "No, we don't need it. We actually bought this new kind of grass that just cuts itself."
You needed me twice.
Yeah, we don't need it. You're good.
We've actually bought your house and asked you to move out of the neighborhood. I love it. Thanks for dropping by and talking to us, and congratulations on everything. You know, it seems like you're having fun, and you seem like a really nice guy, and you find me funny, so I know you're fantastic.
I do. This has been fun, guys. So fun to chat. If you guys, when you guys are in Austin next time, it'd be great to connect. And
absolutely,
we'll make it happen.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Hey, let me know. I'd love to be in my small social way promoted as much as I can. You guys have been great. This has been super fun.
Well, it's going to need I hate to tell you, it's going to need $1 billion worth of promotion.
The bank account and routing number is 123.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
That was fun, Robert.
So how are we going to get Daddy Fat Sacks? Send us a check. Get Daddy Fat Sacks. I'm holding my sacks. You can't see.
Hey, by the way, I've never seen the movie Annie before. And this week I went to my friend Adrian and Randy Ann. They have a daughter, Nola, and she was in Annie the play, and I had Friday night off. So we went and seen the play. I had never seen it before. My mouth was wide open. It's basically it's the Epstein story before the Epstein comes out. It's like a rich man gets a kid from a place and the FBI and the president help him. I'm like, what the hell's going on? This is wrong. So and my wife is, and my mouth's wide open. My wife's elbowing me and like telling me to shut up because I'm gasping everything that happens, right? And all she turns and goes, that kid playing the cops got pink eye. And I look over, this kid's got this big old eye.
You pour it out. Tomorrow.
I'm like, I gotta get that. This thing's all wrong. I'm gonna get pink eye and there's molesters here. So
How come the cop and the other 3 kids got the same thing?
yeah, that's it. We were on there. We were there opening night. I'm like, by Sunday, it's just gonna be the whole cast.
Oh, goofed up. Oh,
Anyways.
man. No, I remember seeing that when I was a kid. That's a messed up story. Or like all the
funny. It's funny.
My sisters loved Secret Garden.
I didn't know about
all
that.
these little girl stories, they're freaking terrible. Secret Garden's all about this girl whose dad goes to war and like they think he's dead. And so she goes from being really wealthy to living. We're talking about the Secret Garden right now.
Welcome to Husky Boys.
So she like lives in an orphanage and she's like basically treated like crap and all this stuff the whole movie. And then they realize the dad's alive and he's like next door at the hospital, but he's been concussed. So he doesn't remember anyone. And the old lady who runs the orphanage is trying to get the dad away so she can keep the girl that kind of is like a little house slave. It's torturous, man. The whole movie, like your stomach is in knots. That's what girls think is a good movie. If you feel like sick the whole time, it's like excellent.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Brilliant. Or it's got to be a girl picking between 2 guys who like love her to death and would do anything for her, and she can't make up her mind until they kiss the ring.
It's about a girl that's got to pick between 2 guys, and then one has to die, and then she lives on forever. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then Harrison Ford's like, "I knew you."
Yeah. Or they meet at a bridge behind her husband's back.
Yes, exactly.
All
I
right,
think
Robert,
our
have a good
knowledge
week.
of women's movies is a little bit too dense, honestly.
I know. This was one from a man's podcast to a little lady's podcast. Do you have anything coming up this week?
Yeah, I'm thinking about starting a fight club.
Nice. Okay.
No, I got nothing. I got Colorado next week, but how cool would it be to start a fight club?
It would be good, especially with guys that aren't good at it.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't. I also I don't have dental right now, so I wouldn't maybe a fight club where we don't hit in the face.
Best way to get rid of a cavity, fight club.
Nice. Best way to meet new friends.
Fight club.
We just not allowed to talk about it.
Feel better, my friend.
Man, buddy, I can't wait to see you.
See you next week. Boys.